Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's interview. We have the pleasure of sitting down with our beautiful Jennie, an extraordinary individual who has embraced the world of direct sales and is a rep for Enagic, a renowned water ionizer company. Today, we will be exploring the fascinating realm of water ionization and discover the benefits it can bring to our overall health and well-being. With a strong passion for health and wellness, Jennie has taken on the role of direct sales rep to educate and empower individuals on transformative effects of ionized water. Through Enagic's cutting-edge technology, she has witnessed firsthand the remarkable impact that ionized water can have on our bodies. During our conversation today, we are going to dive into the science behind the water and the unique features that set it apart. Miss Jennie will also share her journey, including challenges, successes, and everything that she has encountered along the way while she's been representing this company. We will also uncover the numerous health benefits associated with the water, such as improved hydration, enhanced detox, and increased antioxidant intake. Join us as we explore the world of water ionization and learn from Jennie, who is passionate about helping others achieve optimal health through the power of Enagic's ionizers. Get ready to dive into the incredible potential of water and discover how it can revolutionize your everyday life. Jennie, what's up, sister?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me on. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy for you to join me today. Thank you for making time for us and for just sharing your story because it is impactful and I want everybody in the world to hear it. So, yay. Yay. Cheers to that, right? Cheers. I love it. I love it. All right. So let's jump right in. Tell me, how were you introduced to this water? Was there a specific health challenge? Was there something going on in your world that you were just like, okay, I'll listen?
So at first, no. The challenge I had in my world at that time was that my sister was bothering me with this. So my sister Nikki, was introduced to the water and everything. And when she started promoting it and seeing all the amazing things that were happening to her and others from it, she, immediately came to me. She's always had such belief in me. And so she would come to me and she'd be like, Jen, you need to try this water. It's so great. And I'm like, I've always been into like health and fitness and eating organic and things like that. And I'm like, I'm good. I drink my water. I got a Brita filter. Like, I'm fine. I'm good. And she would be like, Jen, you just don't get it. Like, and I'm like, all right. And at that point, I just wasn't in the position to like really be open and to see what it was. So she was patient with me and worked on me and eventually wore me down.
Yeah, it happens.
And I got my machine. And so before that, I had been dealing with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's since my first son was born, and he's almost 15 now. So crazy. So I, didn't realize like the power, the healing powers of this water and how it could actually help my body. I was just like, excited to have some clean water and like, have it help with my recovery with the gym and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I got my machine and started drinking the water consistently. And after a few months, I had a follow-up appointment with my thyroid doctor and had gotten some blood work done. And at that point, he like took a look at all my results and everything was good. Like wow. We were already slowly transitioning me off of my medication at that point. But when he got all my results, like everything was back to normal.
That's amazing.
So I didn't need to be on medication anymore, which thank you, Jesus, because I am not a medication person. I don't
Right.
like taking medication. So I was so happy for that to happen. And honestly, at this point, I felt so good. Like I was getting such great sleep. And I was a good sleeper before, but I just felt like, sometimes you wake up in the morning, you still feel kind of groggy and like,
Sure.
like you could sleep for another like couple hours.
Yeah.
I would wake up and just be like rejuvenated and feel restored and refreshed.
Awesome.
And it was wonderful. My energy was crazy. Like I always say that it's like it should have been illegal for me to have so much energy. But, I'm a teacher and, we have to be on all day, all day, all day. It's like a performance. And so, at the end of the day, I would be sitting at my desk and it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I would literally start to fall asleep at my desk because I was so exhausted.
Sure.
After taking the water, wasn't happening anymore.
That's
Like
so
not at all, not even a little bit. Like
right. You didn't even
I
feel
was
tired.
right. I still had this like sustained energy throughout the day.
Mhm.
And it was really, really amazing. And I'm just so thankful that my sister did not give up on me.
Right. Yeah, it's that love.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she's
For real.
stayed.
And she just saw in me what I was still trying to see in myself. You
100%.
know? Yeah. So, and it was funny too, like when I got my machine eventually, I was like, I'm just buying this. I'm just a customer. Like I'm not doing the business. Don't, I've
Don't
done
need to
things
talk
like
about
this
it.
before. Yeah, I've done things like this before and I'm so happy you're finding so much success. But like, in a previous network marketing company that I was in, I got burned real bad and I didn't have the support that I needed.
Mhm.
My alleged best friend that I was in the company with, stopped kind of caring about me when I wasn't producing,
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so when she saw no value coming from me, I feel like she just, cut
Time moved
ties.
on.
Right. And that's sad. So
Hurts. It
from
hurts.
all of that, yeah, I felt so burned from that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to feel like that ever again.
Right.
So, so I was totally like, I don't want to have anything to do with the business. I'm good. I'm just gonna drink the water. I'm super happy I got this water and I feel so good. But anything else, just
Eh,
skip it.
more, not today.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. I love it. But so then you were drinking all the water, you had all of these great things, you were feeling good. Then what kind of made that switch? What got you to go, let me rethink my original statement.
Yes. Yeah. So, again, me being a teacher, right? In August of last year, we were going back to school and I had to go back into my classroom and start setting up and everything. And there's a level of anxiety that you get from beginning a new year,
I'm
right?
sure.
You don't know what you're going to be getting. You don't know like, the students that you're going to have in your classroom. You don't know like the scenarios that, or what kind of new demands are going to be put on you as a teacher.
Right. Because I feel like they are consistently changing.
They are. They are. And I love teaching. And I am able to create such a special bond with my students. And I love that. But the stress that it takes on you, right, or it puts on you, and the toll that it's very draining emotionally,
Sure.
especially. And throughout the school year, I would feel like I was giving it all to my students and I had nothing left for my own sons. And that just made me feel so horrible
Yeah.
and made me feel like a bad mom. And so I, going back to school, I was just like, I need something different. Like I can't see myself doing this for another 20 years
Sure.
where I'm setting up my classroom again for another year and having to deal with the same issues. And honestly, the issues are worsening and growing, and things are changing at a rate that is not benefiting the teacher
I
at
would
all.
agree. Yeah.
So I just, I don't want to be run into the ground.
Sure.
And ironically, Nikki, my sister, was staying with me for the whole month. She left her home in North Carolina, came up to New Jersey, and stayed with us for the whole month. And I was like, where can, like, what job will allow you to do that? Like,
Right. Like, wait a minute. Time
right.
out.
So she would run like trainings from my home. She would be, on the phone with families and people, helping them get their machines. She would be literally making money at my house. And I'm like, and she had her checks. She had her check sent to my house too. So that was just like another nod to what she was doing. Like,
I
hey,
was like,
Jen.
maybe planting some seeds.
Oh, for 1,000%. And she says it to me. She goes, "That I did all that on purpose, Jen." And so she was like, "Hey, Jen, like, look at what's going on here."
Yeah,
So I just seeing all that, like, and just it was just working on me subconsciously too. And
for sure.
I didn't realize. So that that pivot in my life was that not wanting to feel that stress and anxiety anymore, having to set up my classroom every year and be like, and because I've always felt like there's something more out there for me. Like I don't, there's the life that I'm in right now is not acceptable to me. And I know that there's so much more meant for me. And I was put on this planet by God's will to like impact people in a way that will help them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. You
and
you truly are this big, beautiful, bright light. And so, yeah, everybody around you can see it and we can all feel it. And we know that you have a heart that is beyond massive. And so, yes, you are put here.
that's both a blessing and a curse.
It is absolutely right because of this big, beautiful heart. It's really, it's yeah, I get it. I feel you. But you are here to make an impact. I know
Yeah.
that 100%. And it's
And I
beautiful
know that
you are.
too. Yeah, and I know that too. And I was just, I just needed to figure out what that was, and I would pray to God and, ask him to, Nikki did this too, like ask him to send us something that is going to, be impactful to us and our families, but also be impactful to others because, we have always been in like a servant kind of position
Sure.
where we want, our hearts are in it, where we want to help people. We want them to be the best version of themselves. We want, that's why I got into teaching. That's why Nikki did her personal training and fitness and everything. We
Sure.
want to help people to be healthy, to have a good mindset, to be the best version of themselves. But, the areas that we had chosen just was not serving us
Sure.
in that
It
way.
wasn't
And
fulfilling you now.
right, it wasn't fulfilling, and we weren't able to give our best selves in those positions to others and really be able to impact
I love
them.
it. Yeah, that's huge. So then now you have started this business, right? You jumped into it. So talk to us about the support, the community that you're a part of now.
Oh my gosh, so coming from a previous network marketing business that I did for like 5 years and didn't really get anywhere with, that gets discouraging.
Sure.
And not having the support that I needed or wanted, even while asking for it, again, was very discouraging and disheartening. So jumping into this role, nervous, but I had my sister. So I knew that she wouldn't steer me wrong. So my belief in her helped me to bridge that gap in my belief for myself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I started up my business like the end of August, beginning of September of last year. And October was the first event for our team that I went to. And meeting everyone for the first time. Like I'd been on some calls and some training calls and stuff, and I got to see people through Zoom, and that was really cool. And, just through that, I could just feel like the love and the support. But going to that first event, I was just like, it was, oh gosh, I get chills thinking about it because it's exactly where God had been intending me to be. Because I just met so many people that were so caring and had like the big heart that I did.
Yeah.
And you and Jen and Becca and Melissa and Teresa and everyone that I met, Todd, everyone that I met that first event, I was just like, they met me and they hugged me like they'd known me forever. And I
Right.
was, oh my gosh.
Oh,
I get like
good.
it does. And I'm like getting emotional thinking about it because it's something that I have been searching for my entire life.
Yeah.
Just that kind of how do I explain it? That level of love and compassion and acceptance
Absolutely.
that you literally cannot find anywhere else. It was something that my soul had been needing for so long.
Right.
And I'm so thankful that I found it in this group because that was just confirmation to me that this is exactly where I needed to be.
I know, right? It does just kind of add that exclamation point. Like here,
Oh my
you
gosh.
asked for these things, right?
Yes.
Whether it was in our prayers, whether it was just talking to God, wherever we were, but we've been asking, right? For acceptance, for love, for a sisterhood, right? Because and right, we do have gentlemen that are on our team and they're fabulous too, but there is a sisterhood on this team. And we
Yeah.
truly do. We care and
Yeah.
we root for each other. And we just simply, it's like you said, like I remember giving you the first hug and I was like, oh, this feels comfortable.
Yes. It was like as if we had been hugging for years.
It really was. Yes. And it was like that
Seriously.
consistently throughout the whole house.
Mhm.
Right.
It was so funny too because like Jen and I became very close from the first time we met in October. And in March of this year, we had our second event that we went to, and we had a new girl that came to the house. And her first time like seeing Jen and I interact, she was like, oh my gosh, like how long have you guys been friends? Like I was like, oh, we just met in October. And
Yeah.
she's
You're
like,
like, this is my second time like touching her.
like right. And she was like, oh my gosh, like it this she was just blown away because it was like we'd been friends for forever. And but like this is what this does to you, because when people are on the same mission, when people have the same heart for things and want to be able to serve in the same way,
Mhm.
you're just connected and just able to like I, I just there are like no words to explain it.
I
You
agree.
know, there's a way that your souls just connect immediately because you're on the same level, you're in the same mission, right?
100%.
Have that same heart to want to help others and better yourself at the same time. It's such a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, something I've never experienced before.
Yeah, I know. I agree. And I love it. And it's just, it really is our community. It's It's our space, and I love it, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it on you here just a little bit. So we all know that while network marketing, and even though we're network marketing, we really are direct sales, right?
Mhm.
We are part of the company. We do all this, but we all know that we might hit some objections sometimes. We might have people, right? It's not like I'm telling you this is the easiest thing in the world, and go, and you're going to be making millions of dollars, right? It takes work, right? It takes consistency, and it takes showing up for your people always. So with that being said, just how do you keep a positive mindset? Because I've been around you enough. I know that you do, right? You consistently come back to, it's fine, it's good, and it's okay, and let's keep going, right? You have that mentality always. So how do you keep that? How does handling those objections, how do you stay positive within it?
Okay, so this is something that I have a lot of experience with, being positive and staying positive through obstacles and objections and things like that. As a child growing up all through my adult years, like I've experienced a lot of turmoil and a lot of heartache and a lot of abuse. And it's amazing to me, and this is why I feel like this is exactly where I need to be, because God just designed me to be like this in order, to have this positive mindset and be able to look through the crap
Right.
and look past it and know that on the other side it's going to be okay. Because of everything that I've been through, I know that there are people out there that have been through something similar to me or are going through it. And, there's a saying, like, you were given this mountain to show others, it's able to be moved.
Right.
Right. And so for a long time, I would always be like, why does stuff like this happen to me? Why do I feel like I always am getting into the same cycle, like, and I know now, looking back on it, that it's so I can guide other people and know and help them to know that it's going to be okay. You just need to have faith, and you need to continue to have this positive mindset. And let me tell you something, that's freaking hard.
It
It
is.
is hard sometimes to have that positive mindset, because sometimes you just feel like you're beat down and bogged down and overwhelmed and stressed out to the point where you're like, why am I even doing this?
Right. Why am I even trying? What is the
Right.
point?
Exactly. But my experiences and my again, like, this is just how God made me. Like, there's really nothing else that I can say to that, because if knowing what I went through as a kid, in my teenage years, as an adult, literally up until last year, it's amazing that I have turned out the way that I did, being such a positive and happy person, and still wanting to see the best in people, and still wanting to be a servant and help others and help them to be better for themselves. So when I do get into that funk, right? Because it happens. I'm not
Yes.
positive and happy 100% of the time. Like, that's just not realistic.
Right.
You know, um, what I've learned is, one, reading my Bible really helps me.
Sure.
Just rooting myself in God and giving it up to Him has helped me to feel so much peace about things that are happening that I have no control over but frustrate me, right? Two, having that support in that community is
Right.
so huge, because sometimes you need to feel your feelings,
You
you know,
do.
and
You
you
have to
need to
express them.
yeah, and you
Let
just
them
need
move
to
through.
be in it. Right. You just need to be in it, and you need to vent to someone. So having that support and that community is so important, because I mean, there are other people who understand what you're going through, especially with something like this,
For sure.
right? Where we have such a big heart and we want to help people, and there are people that just don't get it.
No,
They
or they
don't
don't want to be
see
helped in the
it.
in the long run. Yeah.
Yes, that's true too. So people that, you know, don't see the vision, don't see it for themselves, or see it but don't believe it, that it's for them,
Sure.
right? Or you know, just or don't want to be helped, like you said before.
Right.
That's frustrating to me because I have seen and felt what it can do for me. I've seen what it can do for others. And so I know that it can help other people, but you know, we have to take that step back, you know, and not want it more for them, because that's not going to work.
Right. 100%.
So feeling that kind of frustration, feeling that you know, that stress towards that situation, having that support and that community is so important. Plus, being able to tap into people who have been doing this longer and have that experience, they can put it to you or help guide you through that in a way where you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know, that makes sense, you know. And also, especially again, going back to my past experiences, knowing what I've been through, being able to overcome those obstacles, being able to get through it and be on the other side and be like, okay, I survived, I'm good, right? That has just helped me to build up help me to build myself up so that I know that if I'm going through it right now with my business, you know, like there was a span of time where I was not able to sell water to someone dying of thirst.
I think we've all felt that way, Jennie.
I know. And that's the thing too, like everyone goes through it, but when you're going through it, sometimes you feel like you're so alone.
Yeah.
Right, you feel like I'm going through this, and like you see the, you know, other people on your team having success and you're like, why can't this happen to me, you know? But comparison's the thief of joy. Everyone is on their own journey, right? And it's going to go as quickly or as slowly for you as it's supposed to,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
as God will allow. And so just being able to have that faith, and like during that time where I was like not able to sell anything and help anyone, I would question myself and be like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this really meant for me? And I would pray on it and, you know, talk to my sister about it and talk to Jen about it sometimes. And I would come around and be like, yes, this is where I need to be. Because I think of other people's stories in our business, you know, Colton, our team leader, who's a top income earner now, you know, been with this business for 12 years.
Right.
And he and his family make over $1 million a year now. And, you know, his first year, he only made one sale.
Yeah.
Right. I made 8 in less than a year.
Right.
So I think I'm okay. When
I
think
know, right?
like that, I'm like, okay, I'm ahead of the curve because
Exactly.
Colton's making millions of dollars now.
Yep.
Like we did one sale in his first year and I've made 8. So I think I'm okay. You know, when I put it in perspective like that, I'm like,
Yes. And it's always about bringing back perspective, right? It's
Yeah.
always about coming back to it and honestly just taking ourselves out of the equation, right? Because we get so wrapped up in ourselves and, oh, what did I do wrong? And how come I can't do this? Literally because I know you have this servant heart and it's a beautiful thing. And so whenever like you, as soon as you remove the I out of it, it's like, oh, well, yes, of course I'm in the right business because I know that this is going to help people. And
Yes.
it's going to help people with health. It's going to help them with finances. It's going to help them however they choose to need to be helped. Like we have those, you know, we have a pretty darn good product is what we have. And a wonderful business. So yeah,
People
so
search
that's
for this stuff forever, and it's just so crazy. And you know, like going back to what you were saying before, like I taking yourself out of it, like I can be very hard on myself,
For sure.
because I expect a level of performance, I'm like a former athlete, and just like in everything that I do, and that was probably a lot having to do with like my past experiences in my life growing up.
Sure.
I'm very hard on myself. I expect myself to perform at a level that is higher than what people expect of me. And
For
if
sure.
I don't reach that, I can get very hard on myself and down on myself. So that too, like being gentle with myself and giving myself that heart that I want to give others
Yeah.
too is something that I have learned as well to help keep like my spirits up and stay in that positive mindset.
Absolutely. Well, you completely just led us right into my next question for you. So that's it, right? Like, where are you, like, how are other ways now that you've grown personally, right? How have
Mm,
you been able to go, oh, yeah, I do need to be nice to myself. That's a big key
it is.
to being happy and to being fulfilled and all of those wonderful things. But how have you seen yourself grow just in the past year,
Mm,
whether it be leadership wise, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? Like how has this been able to impact across the board?
I love that. So many ways, so
Mhm.
many ways. Um, I have been single for a year now, and that's a big deal for me.
Sure.
Because I would always find myself falling into these relationships that just perpetuated the cycle of abuse, and it was terrible. And I always was like, what am I doing wrong? What is it about me? And so after my last relationship a year ago, I was like, I need to stop this. And the only way to stop it is to stop it
Yep.
because obviously I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I allow my big heart to get in the way and to cloud my judgment because
Sure.
I'm a very good judge of character. I pride myself on being a good judge of character, but when it comes to my heart, it gets in the way of that. So and being and wanting to see the best in everyone. So I told myself I'm going to be single for as long as I need to be, and because obviously I'm not doing the right thing. I, I'm not doing it. It's not working the way I'm doing it.
Something's not right.
So I'm gonna let God handle it. And He's gonna bring me someone, and it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be perfect because it's gonna be His timing,
Sure.
right? So that kind of stuff, like growing in that way and being able to focus on myself, really know what I want out of myself, really know what I want out of my business, really know what I want out of being a mom, really know what I want out of the next relationship that I want to be in, has really, like, this year has really helped me to grow in that way.
Yeah. That's
Now, in business, like I said, I had that dry spell where I was like not able to sell anything to people who, were giving me money basically,
sure.
so that definitely has been able to strengthen me and help me to grow that that um thick skin to
Amen.
not take things so personally,
Yeah.
right? I tend to be sensitive,
Mhm.
because of who I am and my big heart, and I have been able to grow that thick skin so that I'm not so sensitive towards things that are not going my way. This has helped me. I'm also can be a very impatient person. So this has also helped. God has given me a lot of challenges this past year because I've
Yep.
been asking Him, help me to be more patient. So He sends me situations where I need to be more patient. And I
Right.
hate it. Oh my
No,
God,
because
I
like,
hate
wait a
it
minute,
sometimes.
maybe I don't want to be patient anymore. Let's just forget
But
it.
He's really been testing me, and I know that this is just to develop me into the person that I need to be in order to be prosperous in my life, in order to be a better person for my sons, in order to be a better person for my future spouse, my future kingdom spouse, to be a better person for the people that I'm going to serve with this water and this business.
Absolutely.
And this whole year has just I can't even, and even my sister tells me, she's like, I can't believe how much you've grown, since from this time, like I just have started to begin to see things in myself
Yeah,
from this last year of transformation
sure.
that I wasn't able to see before. And it has helped me to become a stronger person inside and to be able to just better help others. And that's really all I want to do. But
Absolutely
you
right.
have to go through this kind of trial by fire, you
Sure.
know, to be able to be, God always is going to put you through the fire to burn out the impurities. It's like, like when like a blacksmith or someone is smelting or putting iron in the fire to make it stronger, right? You got to
Sure.
burn out all the impurities, burn out all the bad stuff so that it comes out stronger in the end. And this is just what has been happening to me this past year, and
Yeah.
it's been a wild ride, but I love it.
Right? I mean, absolutely. And I think too, some of it is having perspective, right? To be able to look at where you were a year ago, right? And then to be like, oh, well, gosh, I've done this, 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 and this. But I think one of the biggest things that you mentioned was the fact that you're taking time for you right now, right? Like so often, we don't do that. We don't ask ourselves what we want, how we want it to show up, or anything. We just kind of proceed through life and just let the waves take us
Mhm.
instead of actually um running the boat. And so
Yes.
for you to be in this moment, right, where you're like, no, I'm learning about me. Because
Mhm.
then too, I think that is so powerful, especially whenever you start talking about taking yourself into another relationship, right? Like you are in that space where you are just growing and you are learning so much, so then you can be that other person for someone else whenever they come, and you'll be ready for it at that point in time,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely,
It's a big
absolutely.
deal. So I think,
I feel like a lot of people are not cognizant enough of having control over the things that they can have control over.
sure,
People I feel like are too focused on having control over out external things that they shouldn't even be worrying
right, it
about
doesn't even matter.
because they have zero control over it,
Yeah,
right? But the things that we do have control over, like ourselves, our mind, what we put into our bodies, who we allow in our circle and into our heart, we have control over things, and people so easily give that control up. And I
absolutely.
feel like we need to be better at listening to ourselves, to
Mhm.
the good voice, because too many times we allow the enemy to creep in and put those bad voices or those bad thoughts about ourselves, about our situation, about whatever. And those I don't understand why, but those are so much easier to believe.
Well, and I
And
always say it too. I say, that the devil yells and God whispers. And so
yes.
it's really, sometimes it's really hard to hear the whispers because there's so much other chaos going on that's way easier to listen to, right? Way easier. And so you have to find time to be still. You have to find time to be quiet, to truly hear the whisper.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I say that a lot. So, okay. So now, where are you going? What goals do you have? What are you looking for in this next year, 3 years, 5 years, like even month? What do you have
Mhm.
planned?
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, the ultimate goal is to run my business full time, to be able to help people with the water, help them through their financial anxiety, and help them to get to where I want to be. Right. And I'm not there now. I'm not close to being there. And that's okay. That's part of the journey.
Mhm.
But I know I'm confident because of where I am, because of who I've linked arms with, because of who I'm allowing to be around me, and the vision. I've become very, very clear on what I want in my future, that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, by the grace of God, like, he has this plan for me, and I know it's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I know that I just need to be consistent, and I know I just need to keep trusting in him and knowing that it's going to eventually lead me to where I need to be, where what his plan is for me. But
Sure.
so but the ultimate goal, like I said, is to be full-time with this,
Yeah.
is to quit my teaching job. And part of me, to be honest, is a little bit sad about that, because I do love teaching so much,
Sure.
but I can always switch my mindset on that, because what we're doing is teaching.
Absolutely. We are educating
So
all day, every day.
exactly. So, I might not be in a classroom full of crazy kids, but I'm still teaching,
The cool
so
thing is,
that part is fulfilling.
you can always go back and volunteer time to be in
Yeah.
those crazy classrooms, if that's something that you choose to do later down the road.
Yeah, I can always sub and do stuff like that. So it wouldn't be, forever gone.
Yeah.
But but not having to like put in those crazy hours, like you you're contracted from this time to this time, but I'm normally there about an hour before school even starts, and I'm there 2 to 3 hours after school ends,
Right.
doing my planning and stuff like that. It's like 10-12 hour days for me, and that's a lot.
Sure. That's a whole
And
lot.
then I gotta come home, and then I gotta take care of my boys,
Yeah.
and we gotta get dinner, and they have their sports and the homework and all the stuff, right? Their personal issues, whatever is going on, and I can't be somewhere that's going to take up half of my day, and then I come home and I'm just emotionally, physically drained to the point where I can't even like give any more of myself to the ones that really need me, or my
Right.
son, right? Um so working my business full time, not having my teaching job anymore, is the ultimate goal. That is something that I want to do in the next like 2 to 3 years.
Awesome.
Um, so running really hard, running really fast is what I'm trying to do right now, and finding people who want to run hard and run fast with me is essential.
Sure.
Because then we can help impact more people,
Yeah.
and finding those people who know that they are meant for more, just like I felt that. Finding those people who, want to create a life and a legacy for their family and for others that's going to last forever. That those are people that I'm looking for. So being able to do that is so much more rewarding for me
Yeah.
than getting checks in the mail. Like, that helps, and that's amazing, for sure. Like, but hearing people, like, for example, one of my friends that bought a machine from me, she suffered from horrible migraines
Mm.
all the time.
Mhm.
She would take medication a few times a week, and then every like 4 weeks, I guess, would go get a shot to help with her migraines, and she would still get them.
Oh, wow.
Right. And since she's been drinking the water, I got a text message from her, and after like 6 months of her drinking the water, and she was like, my migraines are almost gone.
Wow.
She's like, I can't thank you enough for helping me. She
Aw.
she only needs to take medication like a couple times a month now.
Wow.
She has been able to extend her shot. I think the longest she's gone in between getting her shot for her migraines is like 7 weeks, and it's probably more at this point. I haven't even asked her. It's probably longer.
That's
So,
awesome.
but getting those messages and hearing that from other people that I've been able to help is so much more rewarding
Yeah,
than getting a check in the mail. Like,
for
that
sure.
stuff's great.
Yes.
Being able to
So,
pay my rent, being
amen.
able to food on the table,
Mhm.
being able to buy my boys clothes, being able to like go on a vacation, all that stuff is amazing and stuff that I want to be able to do and not
Sure.
have to worry about.
Right.
But that's just about me.
Mhm.
When it's about others and being able to help them,
Yeah,
that is so much more rewarding and so much more fulfilling than anything else that I could ever do.
for sure.
And that is the goal, to be able to help as many people feel that way and put that hope back in them that they've been missing for so long.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's it.
The impact is it's amazing. Well, and it's what fuels your heart, right?
Yes.
It lights you up from the inside out, and everybody can see that. So it's a
Yes.
really cool place.
I love it.
Jen, I've had such a good time talking to you today.
Thank you.
I
I
loved
loved
it.
this. This was so awesome.
Yeah, so much fun and so valuable. Like, you gave us lovely little gold nuggets all the way through. So I'm super excited for everybody to get to see this. And so if you are interested, if you want to talk to Jen, you want to talk to me, I will put the links in the show notes, and we will go with that. And I'm just so excited for you. I can't wait to see all of the things that you do and what you accomplish and all the people that you impact, because it's going to be thousands, and I can't wait to see it.
Let's go.
Go,
So
baby.
pumped.
All right. Yay, Jen. Thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you.
Yay. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.